Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA stock. Let's go over what has happened to the stock, what we can expect moving forward, and all of that good stuff. So as per usual, if you enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And if you do enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts, etc. on the charts, I do have a YouTube membership with the link to that is down below in the description of the video for just $3 a month. That's all it is, $3 a month, where I share my constant thoughts, post updates, etc. mainly on Tesla stock and sometimes other stocks where I see an opportunity to share, really. Or for $5, you get access to everything I just said in the lower tier, but you also get access to my NVIDIA daily updates as well, just $5 a month. Again, it's not to make it expensive and crazy or something like that. It's just honestly to eliminate trolls and annoying people, to be completely honest with you. But all that being said and done, jumping into it, NVIDIA closing the day up with a pretty beautiful 3%. Honestly, a very nice 3% considering the market today was, a little bit unhappy to say the least, right? NVIDIA casually just, green, even 1% when the market was pretty red, down over 1% for the market. NVIDIA was still green. Looking pretty good today, looking pretty strong, and it's getting damn close to finally getting that breakout that we've all been patiently waiting for, right? Now, what is to be expected here, right? What is to be expected? I want to start things off actually on the 4-hour chart. This is where things are getting a little bit more interesting, right? And the reason for that is because we have been kind of going sideways. But like I said, there is a damn good shot and chance, if you will, where this little move up right here into this little consolidation we've been getting, pretty much a bull flag, right? Pretty much more or less a bull flag. Where they want to measure it from here. Or here, if you measure from here, you can argue the fact that we haven't actually completed the full retracement yet. But if you measure it from here, you can argue the fact that the 618 level was pretty much met. But nonetheless, the point I'm trying to make here is the fact that nice little bull flag, right? Nice little 4-hour bull flag, nice little move up, nice little touch points. And, we could be getting ready for that breakout finally, right? And, we need some more confirmation. We're not there just yet, but it's pretty damn close on the 4-hour, man. It's very, 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 very close on the 4-hour chart to breaking out. All we need to do is get a nice closure, in my opinion, above 139 even, honestly, just a move above 139. That alone could be already a start of something nice to come. If you're someone that's a little bit safer and you want to wait for a little bit more confirmation, obviously at that point, you'd want to see a nice move back above the low 140, so 140 to 142, but then you want to see it hold above that level. That's the most important part. You don't want to just see it go up there temporarily and then come back down, kind of like what we did back here, right? Nice move up back above it, and then we just couldn't really hold above it convincingly, and then we ended up coming back down, right? So you want to see it come back up, and you want to start really just seeing it absorb this area and really just kind of set its footing, set its mark, if you will, right? Up in this range over here without just collapsing back under. That's what the bulls really, really want to see. So let's see how this plays out. If I take a guess as to how the price action will look like moving forward over the next week or two or something like that, let's just say about a week or so. I would expect the price action to ultimately break out. I do think a breakout is, warranted. We could get one more rejection, come back down, retest this bull flag here, and then finally make our way up, potentially go some sideways action, and then make our way back up higher once again, right? Kind of, nice little move up, get a little, accumulation, and then move up, accumulation, et cetera, or distribution, whatever, accumulation, I believe it is, right? And that's kind of the overall perspective, right? And the reason why I think, if we do make our way back up like this here and then kind of go sideways for a little bit is because the Bollinger Bands, right? The Bollinger Bands will be pretty much at the top end of the Bollinger Bands. That's going to be somewhere to, watch for a little bit of caution, right? For maybe a little bit of a slowdown in price action. But, I would expect it to more or less hold around that area. I would expect this bull flag to hold pretty strongly, hopefully, at least for a few days, right up here before we make our way up even higher, ultimately to potentially retest that close to previous all-time highs near the 150s, right? And that's going to be something I'll be looking for. Now, again, this isn't supposed to happen overnight. This will take some time. We could potentially hug the Bollinger Bands like we did over here and have a nice juicy move up for sure. That is a possibility. But normally what I would expect is the Bollinger Bands are pretty powerful stuff, right? You get to one end, you get to the other end, you usually expect in this case down here some bullish reaction, but up here we'd expect some bit of bearish reaction, or at least a stalling of price action to the upside, right? So yeah, let's see how this plays out and let's see what this overall actually means moving forward. But that's kind of my general consensus moving forward on Nvidia. Tomorrow is Friday, so Fridays are always a bit of a wild card, but I think the stock is still looking pretty solid, and I'm ready to essentially I guess ride this train back up, right? Once we finally get this breakout and hold above this general vicinity. So let's see how this plays out tomorrow. I think the stock is looking good. I think it's looking pretty promising. I guess the only concerning sign for me is the fact that, maybe if we get a gap down tomorrow, the 4-hour stochastic is a little bit to the upper side, kind of like what it was back here, and then it didn't make its way back down. So we could maybe still have one more push to the downside to 134-ish or so. absolutely a possibility, which is why, you know, confirmation is key and important, of course. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we also get that breakout. It really just comes down to, do we get it and confirm it, or do we not, right? Patience is required. So let's see how that plays out. You can draw this for yourself and wait for your own confirmation. You don't have to wait for me necessarily, but you know, that's pretty much the overall perspective. Now, the one thing I want to talk about on the daily that's interesting is this. I want to quickly talk about the daily on a Tesla chart really quickly, because it's like the opposite of what's happening to Nvidia. So one thing I want to note and kind of pay your mind to is this. When Tesla had this fall, right, stochastic had that bearish crossover. And then what happened? Tesla had this nice little rally, a pretty decent rally too. Went from all the way from 415 all the way to 460. That's a decent rally, right? That's a pretty substantial rally. That's like a, you know, 12-ish% rally. But what did the stochastic do, right? Look at this part right here and move down here and look at down here. The stochastic, the whole time Tesla was doing this, you know, 12-ish% rally, the stochastic was just down, 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 down. It wasn't buying any of that. It was not buying any of that rally. And it was showing that this was just essentially a dead cat end. This is a weak bounce. And then we continued that move to the downside clearly today, right? And really the past few days. What's Nvidia doing? What is Nvidia doing, right? Pretty much the exact opposite. Nice little move up, stochastic with a bullish crossover. And then we had this little cool off, arguably forming what could be a bull flag, of course, we just talked about. But what did the stochastic do as we were having this kind of sell off all the way from, you know, 140 to, you know, 133, which that alone was, you know, a decent, you know, 5 or so % sell off, right? What was the stochastic doing during this whole time while we were moving to the downside? Pointing straight up, looking damn solid. That's what I like to see, right? That's a good sign. That's not a bad sign, right? Not a bad sign at all. And that's what I like to see in a stock, almost like a small divergence, if you will, in the stochastic / price action, which is a good sign to see, right? And that's promising to me, which is why I think Nvidia is getting damn close to finally breaking out, right? Very, very close. Market bias, of course, and the band, not the band, sorry, this EMA band, the EMA bands are, you know, they're still acting as a resistance, of course. They are still going to be a bit of a nuisance for us. But the point is the fact that once we do finally break out, and once we finally get into this low 140s area, and the point is, you know, obviously we'll be a little bit overbought on the stochastic, but you know, as we kind of go sideways here, let the, you know, stochastic, not the stochastic, sorry, the bands for the Bollinger Bands catch up to us, and we kind of go sideways. The idea is, as we get ready for that next move higher, we turn these bands also back into green. So not only is these bands going to be turned into green, but the Bollinger Bands will also play catch up to us, kind of reset the stock from being overbought, and then we move even higher. That's kind of my overall thought process moving forward for the next, you know, let's say a couple weeks or so. So let's see how this plays out moving forward. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I like to see the way the stock is moving. It's moving, in my opinion, pretty well, especially compared to the market today. And yeah, I think the stock is looking pretty solid, right? I'm definitely going to be waiting for this breakout, and I will be entering shares there. I did actually exit my shares at slight profits because I'm just kind of waiting for the confirmations, right? I'm waiting for the confirmations. I'm trying to do a little bit more. I'm trying to be a little bit more serious, if you will. Not serious, it's a bad word to say. More, I don't know what the word is exactly, but I'm trying to be a lot more strict, I guess is the word I'm looking for, strict with my trades, right? So I'm really only entering on either breakouts or when the stock is just very oversold, at which point I sell cash or puts. Anyway, I'm trying to be more strict with my trades. So I'm waiting for this breakout, but I think it's damn close, man. Honestly, it could be even as early as tomorrow. So let's see how that plays out. But yeah, the daily, I think, looks phenomenal. I think the stock is just, man, it's just, it really feels like it's damn close to finally getting that breakout we've been waiting for. Just need that extra push higher. But more importantly, once we get that push, we need to make sure we hold it. But once that happens, I think the stock is looking a-okay. Even now, I'm still thinking I think it looks a-okay, just not fully convinced just yet, but it's looking better with each passing day, in my opinion. So yeah, let's let it do its thing. Let's let the stock give us that direction that it wants to, which I think it's going to, and I think it's, you know, again, I think it's very, very close. And yeah, let's see how this plays out. I do think once we do this move, though, I think ultimately, you know, the move much higher should be set in motion at the very least to retest all-time highs, like I've been saying for quite some time. Now, moving over to NVIDIA options flow. You know, what do we have happening over here, right? What do we have happening over here? Well, you know, we have a lot of calls coming in and a lot more calls than, you know, puts, if you will, or bearish flow really coming in as well for NVIDIA stocks. So the bulls are absolutely dominating once again with a nice 45 million confirmed bullish flow on NVIDIA rather, with AMD actually sitting at 73, not bad, coming in pretty convincingly. So yeah, clearly people are, you know, expecting a move higher. Clearly the bulls are, you know, really coming in on the stock, and maybe now that Tesla's finally cooling off, the money can finally start to rotate back into NVIDIA, and the king hopefully can awake from his slumber. But all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.